Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do an old-fashioned just foundation review. I have had this foundation for a really long time and I'm a little PO'd because they actually added more shades and lighter shades. Let me share with you what foundation I'm actually going to review. It is the Hide Medium Full Coverage Foundation. Now I have the foundation and I also have the concealer here. Now if you're new here and you enjoy my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification so you know when I upload my videos. And as always, my disclaimer, if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is definitely not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's going to come out of this potty mouth, so keep that in mind while you are watching. Alright, let's get into the review of the Hide Foundation. Alright, so I have not prepped the skin like at all. I'm just kind of running behind. Right now, I'm going to put on my sunscreen, which is the Bliss Blockstar Invisible Daily Sunscreen SPF 30. I have been loving this jam, but the only thing I do not like about this is that it is tinted and it leaves a little bit of kind of like an orange cast on my skin, but that's okay because we're going to be trying out foundation and it's just really not going to matter. I decided to wear a freaking turtleneck today because I didn't know how this foundation was going to be, especially with the sticker on the top. Like, look at that. And the shade, by the way, is linen. I got both foundation and concealer in linen because at the time that I purchased this stuff, that was the only available lightest shade was linen. So I don't know how this is going to work because now they have two shades above linen that are a lot more pale friendly. Now that I have my face nice prepped and primed, I'm going to go ahead and read some information about the foundation first, and then we're going to get into the concealer. Now, this foundation it's invisible, it's oil free, it's medium full coverage is what it claims. The benefits are oil free, undetectable, skin types are normal, dry, oily combination, so basically all skin types. Coverage is medium full, finish is natural. I don't know how I feel about the word natural to a finish when it's full coverage because a lot of full coverage foundations don't look natural. You know what I mean? It just looks really not cakey because there are foundations out there that you can get away with that aren't that cakey, but it's always, you can tell there's makeup on there. There is 1 fluid ounce in here, so it's just like any other typical foundation size. The other thing I really like is that there's actually an expiration date on the bottom here, and this one expires in January 8th, 2023, so I think we're good here. Now, I got the shade Linen, and there are now 2 lighter shades, Champagne and Chiffon. So I'm a little upset about that because Chiffon is my lightest shade. There are only 20 shades, and let me just say the medium to dark skin tone range is flat out shit. Like, it's really, really shit. There's 1 really dark shade, and then all of that is just kind of like, yeah, it's terrible. The foundation itself retails for $30, but the thing is with this website, I always see everything is always 20% off. Always 20% off. So normally it retails for $37, but you can get it for $30 now because it's 20% off. Hopefully I'm making sense. Also, if you get this in the bundle, you can get like more of a discount. Now it says achieve the perfect natural look with this soft matte foundation that easily builds to medium full coverage. The custom oil-free formula is made to resist sweat and won't clog your pores. We are gonna see about that. The packaging, I really like it. It's very sleek and modern, and it is plastic. The letters on here are actually embossed or raised, and I really like the packaging. I mean, it may seem cheapy to some people, but I really like this because it's just sleek and plain, and I like it without the razzle dazzle. Now we have a regular pump here, and I'm just going to give this a good shake. Now, of course, with all my foundation reviews, I do one side with a kabuki brush and then the other side with a dry sponge. I always do it with a dry sponge because it gives me more coverage, and I just prefer it that way. Now, if I'm having a particularly dry day, then I will go ahead and wet my sponge. First pump, a couple pumps, let's see. Okay, ooh, that's a very thick formula. This actually kind of brings me back to the, actually no, it's running, just very slowly. This kind of brings me back to the Dermacol review that I did several years ago. It's like one of my shittiest, most watched videos, but it's very, very thickly feeling. This shade, I don't know how we're gonna do because, I mean, in the camera, it's not as yellow as it is in real life. It's very orange yellow, but I don't know. We might be able to make it work. So first things first, I'm going to take my Sigma Flat Kabuki, which is the F80 Air, because this says medium full coverage. And for some reason, I've been more into like the lightweight, like tinted moisturizers lately. But today my skin is looking not fab. So we're just going to go ahead and go in with the Air Kabuki brush and see. I don't know how anyone says that this is lightweight, because I can totally feel it on my face as I'm applying it. But I will say it does feel lighter and lighter the more I like blend it in. This is probably not going to go anywhere because it is just, wow, you blend it and it's dry. Like there's really no time to work with this. Like it's already dried on my brush. I can't. I'm like pushing the brush into my skin and it's barely getting any foundation on my forehead, which I was barely able to apply. I don't know if you guys can see that because my hand is extremely grossly pale, but it is dry. Like the foundation has now dried on the back of my hand. So that is crazy. It has very, very fast drying time and it is fucking matte. Like holy matteness. This is super matte. I have a feeling, though, that this is really going to cake into your lines if you are an oily person, because I'm dry and it's already kind of like accentuating a lot of the texture, there's a lot of hot mess going on right now. This one, I think it looks great. Like the foundation shade isn't too off from my natural color, I guess you could say. Like it's not too bad. The color's not too off. All right, so now I'm going to go in with a dry sponge on this side. And I feel like the sponge is just going to soak all the product up, especially because it's dry. So I'm going to do 2 regular pumps here on the back of my hand once again. Holy moly. Okay, so I will say that when you apply it with the sponge, not only are you getting a heavier layer, but I feel like you can work with it a lot faster than the brush because it's not drying as fast, but you can also feel it drying at the same time. I know that makes absolutely no sense, but it just doesn't feel like it's drying as fast as it did with the brush application. But this, holy moly, definitely gonna have to bring this down. It's a lot of coverage, I will say that. It's a lot more coverage with the dry sponge rather than the flat top kabuki. Now, the one thing about my kabuki brush that I'm using, it's the air brush. So that means it's not gonna give me as full coverage as if I were to use like this Smashbox full on dense brush. So with this, I would probably get more full coverage on the brush side than the sponge side, probably around the same as the sponge side. Now I can say that the brush side that is less coverage by a smidge definitely feels a lot lighter than the sponge side. The sponge side, I can totally feel it all over my face. Like this is just thick as hell on the mug. I scooted in closer and turned the lights down just a little bit because I wanted you guys to see like the texture going on my face. And yeah. I just really do not like how textury it looks. Here's the dry sponge side. The dry sponge side does not look as bad. I think it's because I'm pressing the sponge into the skin. So it's kind of helping like get in there, if that makes sense. But I don't like the way the side of my nose looks. So I'm actually going to take my little kabuki brush here and see if I can get some, coverage going on there. The thing is, again, with the dry sponge, it's you guys, it's on there. Like I can really feel it. It doesn't feel like nothing. It feels like foundation. Now on this side with the Air Kabuki from Sigma, this side actually feels a lot lighter, but you can tell that it's not as much coverage as the dry sponge side. So yeah, I'm more on the kabuki side. I like that more. I don't know what it is about the sponge side, but it's just like, God, it looks really cakey and really thick. On my forehead, you can see it's picking up a lot of my texture, a lot of my dryness, the one little frown line that I have here. The foundation kind of just like caked itself in there. And I have a lot of texture here around the mouth area. It's already creasing like on my smile lines, so that's gonna be a no-no. I know this part right here is gonna crease like a mother. I'm gonna go ahead and call the check-in time because it's already, you know, we got the foundation on. Now we're gonna go in with concealer. It is now 12:10, so that is the check-in time, 12:10. All right, now let's get into the concealer. That is this guy right here. Let me pull up some information. Now the concealer, it costs $32 originally, but you can get it for $26 with that, you know, 20% off coupon. Now with this, it is the same. You know, that really, oh, that really irks me. So there are 20 shades in this as well. But of course, like I said earlier, they added 2 shades that are lighter than this one. So I had to get this in linen, and I had to get the foundation in linen because that was the lightest shade that they had. But now they have lighter shades in concealers, and I'm looking at the swatches. I'm looking at the swatches here, and the linen looks exactly the same as the foundation linen. So I don't know what we're gonna get out of that, but we're gonna see. We're just gonna go with it. So this has 0.50 fluid ounces, which I think is awesome. That's half a foundation, and it says it's a multi-use full coverage concealer. Like, they're not even saying medium to full coverage. They're straight out just going with full. It's hydrating, weightless, buildable, and oil-free. I like the hydrating part. Skin types, it's all skin types, normal, dry, oily combination. Coverage is full, and again, formulated without phthalates and animal testing. Now let's see what they got to say here. It says, introducing the world's most sophisticated concealer. Hide anything with this full coverage, oil-free, and lightweight professional concealer. And it says buildable. So yeah, again, I really like the packaging because it's sleek, modern, and very just, you know, plain. That's the way I like it. So I'm going to get, I cannot, oh, you dummy. It is a twist cap. Look at the shade. It's exactly the freaking same as the foundation. So I'm just going to be looking all one color. I really, oh man, come on. Really? Like, come on. How am I supposed to use this? Now, the only other thing that I can think about using this for is where I didn't have, like, all the coverage that I wanted. So I could put it, like, right here on my little red spot there and kind of blend it in with a dry sponge. And maybe that'll give me, oh, yeah, that definitely gave me a lot more coverage. But for a concealer, I'm kind of scared for this. All right, so I'm just going to do one eye, because I don't want to do, I mean, I'll do both to even it out if I have to add a lighter concealer. But this is just holy moly. Okay, so I'm gonna blend it out. I don't know, does it look lighter? No, it does not look lighter than the foundation, like, at all. So yeah, we're at the same color foundation and concealer. So that kind of sucks because normally concealers should be a little bit lighter, and if linen was supposed to be the lightest shade, they should have made a concealer that's a little bit slightly lighter than linen. And I thought maybe, but no, that did not happen. So yeah, we got the same colored under eyes as the whole foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that concealer to this eye to kind of even it out. And then I'm going to go in with a concealer of my choice that's going to brighten up the under eyes, because, yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm going to go ahead with my Ulta Youthful Glow Concealer. This has hyaluronic acid, and I love it because it's great for my dry, crusty skin. We're going to go ahead and do the rest of my face and see how this works out. So I will be right back. All right, so I got the rest of my face done, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this foundation. Everything blended absolutely beautifully on my face. I did set my face only on this part here. Actually, I should say this whole part. The only place I did not set was my forehead because I always get creasing and like bunching up and dryness up there. So I left the forehead area just by itself. The shade match is actually not that bad for linen. As you can see, I am definitely a little bit more white because I did bring the foundation to about here, and I am a little bit more pale, but I feel like with this turtleneck, I can go throughout the day without it being too orangey or yellow. We're just gonna have to go about the day and see just how good or bad this wears. So again, the check-in time is 12:10. I'm gonna go about my day, get my eyes checked and all that good stuff so I can have contacts. We're gonna eat some sushi today, maybe. So yeah, today is just gonna be going into town and running some errands. So again, check-in time 12:10. We'll see just how good this lasts or how bad. And yeah, I will see you guys in my first check-in. So the time is now 4:40. So I've been wearing this since 12:10, so about 4.5 hours. And I have to say it looks pretty damn good for wearing a mask. Now for the mask, I won't say it's completely mask proof because you can see the nose part rubbed off and a little bit here on the cheek side. Now for everything else, it looks really, really good. I do have some like breaking down around my mouth area, and of course I have that goopy mess next to my nose, which I kind of already knew. And it is settling, like I'm getting crease lines and it's settling a little bit on my wrinkles. But for 4 hours, this isn't really too bad. The only thing that only bad thing about this is that I can really, really feel it on my face. I just don't really like that. I can feel it breaking down. I can feel the oil pushing through the foundation, and that's probably why my face looks so shiny. At this point, if it was like a regular just day, I would probably reset my face. My husband and I are actually gonna go eat some sushi here in a little bit, and then we gotta run some more errands. So I will definitely see how good this wears. I'm hoping it lasts a couple more hours because we are gonna be out here for quite a while. So yeah, and I'm starving. So we're gonna go do all that, and then I will see you guys for my last and final check-in. Right, so I am back. It is fucking cold. It is so freezing right now. I think it's like 25 degrees outside, and it's too cold for me. It is way too cold. That's why I got a scarf on, because if you didn't watch my last video, I am in the basement of my aunt's house, and basements are very, very cold. So the time is now 6:47. So I have been wearing this for 6 hours and like 37 minutes, and I am pleasantly surprised by this foundation because this actually lasted a lot longer than I was expecting, especially with how thick it felt on, not thick, but you could tell that it was on the face. And just for running around and doing all the stuff today, I feel like this foundation really lasted. I'm gonna scoot up closer so you guys can see a little bit more of what's going on. I think for the most part it looks pretty good, but you can actually see kind of where it's breaking down, like where it's starting to break down, and that's normally around my nose area, and that's exactly what this started doing around my check-in time, which was around 4:30 or something like that. And as you see, I am getting the nose gunkies per usual, and this part rubbed off because it's cold. I've been rubbing my nose and blowing my nose. My eyeliner came off all the way, by the way, so that's kind of shitty. But as for the foundation, other than breaking down in certain parts on my face and accentuating some texture, this foundation was actually really, really good. I feel like if you were to use a setting spray with this as well as setting powder, it might actually last a little bit longer and not have all this breakage going on the face. For the concealer, I'm just going to go ahead and say no go. Now, if you are someone more on the normal / oily side, I think this would be an absolutely amazing concealer because it is full coverage. This concealer is definitely full coverage. I will say that. It's just that it's not light enough for what I want under my eyes. Again, for the foundation, if you are more of a medium full coverage type of girl or guy, I would definitely say try this out. And if you're not going to wear it for more than 6-7 hours, I feel like it'd be a really good, decent foundation. Now for the price point, I don't know, because there's a lot of foundations out there that are $32 that are way freaking better than this one, in my opinion. But if you're needing something with that coverage and with that lasting power, and again, not a long lasting power, then I would definitely recommend this one. It's just not for me because, again, I haven't really been touching the more medium full coverage foundations, but I'd say that this is definitely something that I will be wearing in the springtime. I feel like this is more suited for that, especially with the weather, because it's not going to be as hot or cold. It's going to be kind of like, you know, comfortable, and I feel like this would be a great contender for that kind of season. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please get a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that that bell notification so you know when I upload my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, or comments, leave them all in the comment section below. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.
I'd rather be half involved and missing all of you. Drinking till the sun comes up. Better than feeling like I need your love. Dancing till my legs go numb, till I go numb.